And more from Computex today. I am Alban, and I'm presenting to you the DisplayLink 7450 chip. We introduced for the first time yesterday a workshop to teach our customers on how to program the chip and run their own application on the chip. What you're seeing now is some Python code that can be edited live and sent to this docking station. Example of applications here, you can see I have a background image and text superimposed with the time taken from the network. I can interact with the product, get some asset tracking information, get the peripherals connected, but also use the peripherals when connected to this product. All of this can be customized, and to demonstrate this, I will now load a totally different application.
So it's just a Python
It is
code?
just Python, yes. So the Python code is run in a virtual machine, and the idea here is for security and to be able to separate both worlds. We, as Synaptics, write the interfaces between the rest of the dock and the VM, and then our customers or DMs can differentiate by creating their own product from that. And the value here is they don't need to add other chips. It's all integrated into the DL-7450.
And this could be when the host device is disconnected, but it could also be when the host device is sleeping or just off.
Yes.
And so it's like
everything works. Everything still works in the background when it's connected. The chip still keeps its own internet connectivity.
What's the limits of this possibilities here?
The ideas from people, really. We've got 3 dedicated cores for these applications. So these cores can do quite a bit. So we see here for all the modes for interactivity with, you see, full screen, full color graphics. An example here is I'm going to run image and text, so I'm going to send the application. Here this is cloud connected, so going to a data center in Hong Kong. You can see that the product is receiving the new application, and my application is loaded. I want to display a company message, so I just press the message, and now it displays here. So you see here, this is just a text box. We can create multiple text boxes, get information like weather, get images from the web. I would say the limit is, well, the imagination and the application you want to serve.
Nice. So this could be like a calendar update for the company or for the employee?
Definitely.
Or...
If you put this in a meeting room, you could get an iCalendar feed from the appointments in that meeting room and automatically update what's the next person and what's the current meeting. Yes.
Nice. And showing off that in 5 minutes the next team is coming to this meeting room, so please
exactly.
hurry up. And then they connect and they put their stuff on.
You're right. We could also take over. So if somebody was connected and the time is up, we could just display something on top or replace the content from the laptop to say, please get out.
Is it possible that this could connect to show a live feed from security cameras?
Yes.
It could show video?
You could, so you would need to go through an external aspect, like a gateway or a server, but yes.
And what are the other ideas your customers want to have here?
So the idea is to really make the dock the gateway of a desk. So from that you can connect sensors, you can connect it to the smart buildings and therefore manage your energy consumption. You can look at desk utilization. If nobody is using that desk, maybe there's a problem with the desk. Facilities is very interested in this. Yes.
So sometimes these are using LCD. Mm-hmm. Is there any chance this can tell the LCD to go in low brightest mode on this standby?
We can control the display. Actually, you can see now I am controlling the display. I'm displaying something on it. We get the information and we drive a display like a computer would.
So the computer does have access to like brightness and stuff like that.
Brightness, contrast.
So that could lower the power consumption if it's running 24 hours a day. Or if it's an OLED, maybe you could try to do stuff with a black background because then you use much less power.
We can do that, but the idea here would be to switch off the display if after a while, like have a timeout. Obviously for the demo purposes, I keep it on, but in a product, you would have a timeout. And you could pair this with Synaptics using user presence detection to only light up the monitors when somebody is looking at them. If somebody just passes by, just keep them off because there's no engagement from the user. But if you detect engagement, you can wake up the monitors and they can see the messages.
Maybe it keeps the mood up if there's like slideshows from the company parties.
So that's another
from a Google Photos or something.
That's exactly that. So internal comms can also use this for also did you know campaign, employee of the month, any type of information. So here, yes, but instead of a typical doc where the only customer would say is IT deploying it and user is still using it. But here the idea is to bring value to other people in the company through the docking station. Facilities being one, internal comms as you mentioned as well.
And you were just clicking on a tablet that's not connected, this Wi-Fi going to the cloud.
Yes.
So the IT administrator can click and 1,000 displays are updated?
Exactly, yes. And can choose as well zones. So for instance, you may only want to send this message to a site or to a floor. So you would group the products into geography and then do this update.
It's kind of amazing. It means like the IT admin could be doing different moods. Like on Mondays, let's make something like this, and Friday something different.
It also makes it easier to update branding, to do firmware updates across the company, all unattended. So no need to go to each desk and do these updates. It can all be done centrally. So you mentioned mood. This is new in the sense that today you don't have this type of interactive product. So what I'm showing you here is just an introduction of a few use cases that are possible.
And do you have another couple demos you want to show maybe?
So an example of another app I've got here, a carousel, an image carousel. So I get images from somewhere on the internet, and I ask to update them every seconds, 3,000 milliseconds. So I press send, so it will send the application to via Hong Kong, coming back, and now I'm displaying these images going through.
That's cool. So you said that it's possible that this can connect with the peripherals, could be USB, kind of like a smart speaker, microphone kind of thing, and suddenly you have a Hey Google on the screen and stuff?
So you could do this type of things. I think because it's quite an office product, what I'd see more likely is, as a first step at least, is instead of using buttons on the dock, you already have quite a few buttons connected to the dock. You've got a keyboard. So then you could use the interactivity with the keyboard. In a second instance, use the mouse. There's this type of applications.
Maybe there's a game.
Yes, there's probably going to be a hidden game somewhere with special key combinations.
All right. And it's just like a limit of what people can think of. And through that, everything's possible.
Yes. And because this doesn't exist today, it's difficult to define where this will be brought because it will be depending on, I would say, user interaction with the product and new use cases that come up.
So I would think it's important to know that this doesn't use too much power.
Yes.
And it's going to be
correct.
24 hours connected.
That's correct. So compared to our previous generation, actually save about 68%, so 68% reduction on power. As you mentioned, anyway, there's regulations on power you can use, so we have to fit in that. But we can also manage the power of the displays, which are much higher power than what the chip is.
There are some amazing new displays with like such small bezels that are so cool, like you nearly don't see them, and it's really great to have 4 display.
Yes, you can do that, and so here I've been showing everything the same in the 4 displays, but actually these can be controlled individually. Just for the sake of simplicity, we show the same content on the 4 displays.
All right, and we didn't manage to do the DisplayPort video, but how do you make a hybrid? What's the cool thing about doing a hybrid, and why would people need to do hybrid?
So it depends on the type of product you want to do. So it's usually I would say a customer decision based on which market they want to address. It allows you to have a base of both technologies. So it could be for creatives quite a good product. Actually, we already have products like this in the market today with previous generation because this one's not in market today. It's not available to purchase. Yes.
Because what I would hope is, if you spend what's amount that needed to pay for this, somehow if you could get the DisplayPort also included for not too much more or something, then it's a no-brainer to have that like a hybrid.
The challenge is here, all the smarts are integrated into the chip. This is not the case on other technologies. And therefore it means that if you were doing this, then the other screen would stay black, because it's not integrated. So you would need, for this product, to use an external module. We chose to integrate it to have better graphics capability, but also reduce the cost. And by reducing the cost, we believe that it will reduce the product price and therefore have more people using it.
Just as a last thing about the DisplayPort, because I just wonder, let's say this one supported DisplayPort, right? So it would just maybe bypass the DisplayLink functionality,
Yes.
but still do all these apps.
No.
When it's not connected.
No.
That's not possible.
No, because the chip itself is not able to drive rich content like this. The technology is not able. You need to have the ability of driving these apps and also talk to the video and create this video content. So it wouldn't. That's why here we integrated everything. It's yes.
Sometimes I hear the stuff called wake on LAN and stuff like that. Is there any chance this can wake the laptop up?
Yes, we do this.
Turn it on?
We do this as standard, like MAC address pass-through as well, to use the MAC address of a laptop so IT can do user control. All of this is standard, I would say, enterprise Ethernet features, and they're all offered on the product.